So, Angela, what would you share to? I mean, we've talked about a great concept of how to really reclaim, restore, revisit all of those good stuff to be able to work on ourselves. But what would you, is there anything that you would have told your 18-year-old self in regards to the experience that you've gone through, especially the last 5 years?
Yes, what I would have told my 18-year-old self is before you settle down with anyone, you need to settle down with yourself.
Mm,
You need to make sure you know who you are authentically. You need to make
mm,
sure the person that you're seeking is really the person that you're seeking and is not the person that society thinks you need to be with. I would have told my
mm.
18-year-old self to make sure when you do connect with someone, make sure you bring someone else, a mentor, a coach, someone else around to meet this individual and see things that you may not be able to see, because no one has it all and we all need help and we all need a team. Support is everything. I would have told my 18-year-old self. And if you do those things, you will be sure to have a very successful relationship.
Come on now. So you're telling me this is something that really those in their 20s need. I mean, anyone can use this type of program, but you're saying
Yes.
it seems like it could be very beneficial instead of going through the headache or the issue of it, but gaining that in awareness of what it is to be in a relationship early. So this could really work with those that like in the 20s or 30s.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because honestly, a lot of times when I'm finding a lot of singles, Carla, they're just doing what everyone else is doing. They're doing
Mm,
whatever's hot. What's the latest trend when it
the
comes to
trend.
relationship? You know, the trend now is the friend with the benefit. You know, that's the trend. But is that really what you want? You know, you have to
Mm.
find out, settle things with yourself, know who you are organically and authentically, and then you can go forward. But a lot of times we're following trends and we're getting ourselves in trouble. We're falling in so many
Mm.
ditches.
Wow, wow, that's deep. And as far as building relationships, where are we learning these principles? It's important because if not, we're not having principles. We're just building relationships by default. There's no there's no structure to it, and really, you should be able to build friendship, knowing that it has the intentionality of supporting your life, your dreams, your goals, your vision, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's another thing. You hit another point. A lot of us, we don't have concrete. In other words, we don't have anything concrete that we know what we want or what we need. We think we'll know it
Hmm.
when we see it. Don't fool yourself. You won't know it when you see it. You need to know what you want and what you need before you see it. So therefore, you won't hit a
Hmm.
blind spot. Therefore, you won't put your boundaries down and fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. You
That's
have to
it.
know
That's it.
exactly what you want and what you need. You have to.
And even if there's a little adjustment, but at least it won't be so far off. So you need to know where you're going to land. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you had an opportunity to make some changes or help someone in regards to when they're building relationships, what would you share with them about what it is that they can change a little bit about themselves, or maybe the relationship up front, that it will not fall. You know what I mean? It's like, what would you tell someone in regards to building a relationship and then already coming into the relationship with, let me rephrase that question. What would you share with someone about when they're building relationship with others, whether it's with a couple, a couple, a partnership, a friendship? How should they come into the relationship so that they can ensure success for the long run?
I absolutely love that question, Carla. Here's one thing that I often say. If anyone knows me, they know this is mine. I wave this around, okay? I would
Hmm.
always say start with expectations. And this is what all the
Mm.
relationships that you're discussing, what you're talking about. A lot of times relationships fail because we never discuss expectations. Once you enter into a relationship, we have to sit down and we have to talk about where is this relationship going? What do we anticipate? And what are we looking for? Whether it's a friendship or not, I don't care what relationship it is. Do not skip over expectations, because once you have and someone has done something that offends you, now it's too late. And now you're upset because you never discuss expectations. And
Wow,
I
that's a great
often,
point.
I point the finger back to the original person. Whenever someone comes to me, Carla, and they're telling me about the relationship is having issues, whether it's the friends or at the company, or with their intimate partner, I often say, was that expectation spoke about in the beginning? And 90% of the time I hear, no, it was not. So I put the blame and say, well, you are the problem and they are not, because it should have been discussed. If you know this is something that will annoy you, aggravate you, is it a boundary that they've crossed with you? You never discussed that expectation. There's a problem. You know, I can break it down where someone can literally understand what I'm talking about. If I can give an example, if you have a friend and she's your girlfriend, you know, and she comes and she visits you often and she never calls you prior to her coming over, but you never told her that you prefer her to do that. So every time she comes over, you're upset, Carla. You're upset about it. She doesn't know that because you never discussed expectation. But on the 10th visit, you open the door and you rant and rave and you're upset about it. You say, I don't really like people visiting unannounced, and make sure you call the next time. Now you have offended and wounded your friend and possibly have lost a friend because you failed to talk about expectations in the beginning.
That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. I mean, Angela, it's interesting that you can even take this even to the space of, let's say, a business owner and a customer, where you're providing a service, and if you don't even set up expectation, because this is what I'm thinking, is if let's say you don't set expectation with the customer can say, hey, jump off the cliff. But you didn't have that in the contract. Well, I don't jump off cliffs, okay? Or you didn't discuss your expectation, and it goes the other way. As a customer, we'll have someone with building a roof. It doesn't matter. It's like you're expecting this roof to be done in 3 months, not 6 years. So it's interesting that the word expectation is so important of how to maintain, right? As you're building this relationship and maintaining and sustaining a relationship, is a key component to having that success that you're looking for on the long term.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Expectations, expectations. It ruins so
No.
many. People do not discuss this in relationships. Even if you're married and you buy a painting for the wall and you put it in, you come home from the store and you put the painting down on that same wall that you wanted your husband to hang it, and he comes in and he never hangs it. Well, whose problem is that? It's your problem, because you never talked about expectation. You never say, honey, whenever you have time, I would love for this painting to be hung on the wall.
So it's important how we communicate our expectations so that we can
Absolutely.
build our relationships. Come on now.
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
so if I know there's something that you want to share with us, and with the audience, if they want to connect with you, first of all, how can they connect with you?
The best place to connect with me, Carla, is on my Instagram account. My Instagram name is angela.s.walker. And the reason I say that, because I give relationship tips there. And I also have in my bio where you can click and see my services and my freebies and that book that I spoke about. Anything you want to know concerning me, Instagram, angela.s.walker.
And where is your book right now? What's the name of the
My book.
book, and where is it located?
Oh, thank you. The name of the book is How to Resolve Any Relationship Issue, and you can get that on Amazon. It's in the ebook copy as well.
Love it. Love it. Well, Angela, this was fantastic. You got to give us one last way of how do you serve others. If you could come up with your purpose statement, what would that be?
It would be that I help singles as well as couples customize strategies to help them build long-lasting and healthy relationships.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, Angela, thank you so much. This has been a blessing to me, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people who are hearing you and who is watching us right now. And I'm telling you, this is going to make a great impact. It's actually life-changing when it comes to relationships, because relationships are very key to our mental healthness. I mean, mental wellness. How we move in life, how we build businesses, everything. So relationship is really a foundational key to having a successful life and a successful business. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Well, everyone, on your inspired journey, we've had the opportunity to hear some great information about how we build our relationships, how we communicate our expectations, but most importantly, how we stay successful in claiming our love for each other. Thank you so much for joining us here on Your Inspired Journey. I will see you soon. Much love.